Hey guys, what's up? Theo here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to test a very simple React component with Jest and Enzyme. So just to make sure, I have this Create React app open, and we're going to install a few packages here. So I want to go ahead and install with Yarn. I'm going to add Enzyme. I'm pretty sure it already comes with Jest, but let's just add these two. We're going to add Enzyme and Jest. Enzyme is basically a wrapper that allows you to look into the depth of your component, either shallow, mount, or render. For this, we're going to use mount, but I'll also show you shallow. And to run your test, we can do yarn test. And this will start running them, and it's just going to run everything that has test in it. So you can see we passed this test, and our tests are going to be in right here. So let me go ahead and take that out. I don't think I really need that. Let's see, what is it saying? We don't have a test yet, okay. And I don't really need React DOM. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna describe my component. And again, we're just gonna have one component. If it's just the app, it doesn't matter. So we'll say app. And let's see what this does now. And it must contain one test. So basically, we're gonna render out our component. So to do that, need to go ahead and import shallow from Enzyme, and shallow is a method that is going to render our component and show us the object structure with the props and state, but it's not going to allow us to set anything, set state. Well, we can, but mount is used more for that, interacting with the DOM. So I'm going to use shallow just to show that we have the correct props and state. Okay. So first, let me just render the component. So this was going to be, it renders one app component. And inside of this function body, what we're going to have is const component equals shallow and one app. And we're going to expect component dot to have length 1. So let's run this again. Let's look back here. React add-ons test utility isn't okay. Let me install that as well. What is it telling me? Can't find module. Back. Let me install that. So go here. We'll do yarn add. Let's grab that. All right, now let's do yarn test again. Run our test runner. Might actually need the import there. Okay, there we go. So now it passed. And I guess we just needed that as a development dependency. I haven't always used that. Maybe this is the Create React app complaining about it. But anyways, if you're not using Create React app, you should only need Enzyme and Jest. But I'm not sure the script that they're using behind the scenes. Normally I would do Jest, etc. So let's see, test, React scripts, Jest. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to change this out to be Jest. I'm going to do dash dash watch dash dash coverage. So now if I do this, I'm going to change this to npm run test. And we're going to go off of what I have, watch coverage, determining test suites to run. Here we go. It's going to run it. And what is it telling me? So here we can get the coverage of everything. And why is it, what does it not like here? Const component, shallow app, unexpected token, 728. I must not have everything configured. So let's just go back to that test, because I know I'm missing something with Babel, etc. Because this is not liking this. We could probably, let me just change this out real quick. We'll do React dot create class app, and let me see if that's still, if it still doesn't like that. Let's try this. Unexpected token. Yeah, okay. So I don't want to deal with all the configurations. Let's just go with what they had. So my bad, guys. They led us astray. Forgot that I have all my Webpack and Babel set up in my own project. So let's go back here and do yarn test. Let it run. Cool. And what is it? Let me take this out of the package.json. Environment.js done. Okay. Yarn test. Okay, let me try and put coverage in here as well. And yeah, I don't think that's gonna work because alright, let's just stick with what they have. So cool, we render one app component, and that's cool. So let's look at in our actual test file. Let's look at what the component is at this point. So we should see, right, it's pretty much just a wrapper. It's got a length of 1. It's a div, okay. Doesn't have any props, whatever, but let's pass in some props. So we can say name equals app. So now let's look at component.props. And here we can see we have props and we have children, right? But we actually want to see this. So in that case, we need to look at the instance, which is the component itself when it's rendered. So we can say describe it renders props correctly. All right, very simple test. Inside of here, we can render another component. Say shallow app name equals app. Inside of here, we can say expect component, or let me just log it out for you guys real quick. So we can say console.log component.instance. So let's look at this time. It's going to run. Okay, cool. Now, if we look at component.instant.props, we can see it's got a name of app. That's what we passed in, right? If we change it to apps, we should see apps. Cool. So now we can create another assertion, and we can say expect component.instance.props.name to be, and we're just going to say app. Make sure that works. Cool. So that works. And now I want to do another test right here. Inside of here, I'm going to create a button, right? And on click, we're just going to increment. So we're going to call this dot increment button. We say increment. And in here, we're going to have an initial state. So say state. And say counter. So start at 0. We're going to create this increment function. We say increment. And all we're going to do is we're going to say let counter equals this dot state. We're going to do counter plus equal to 1. We're going to set the state. And we say counter. Cool. And then from there, let's make sure I'm not getting any errors here. Cool. So we're incrementing. And let's verify that this works. So let's look at it right here in the DevTools to make sure our method works. So let me open up React. And so we got a counter of 1. Let's make sure it's incrementing. There it is. Cool. And let's show it right here. So we can say let counter equals this dot state. And here I can just put h2 maybe. And I can say counter is counter. Okay, so it's 0, and there it's incrementing. Cool. So let's test this, make sure that everything's working. So since we only have one button, this is pretty easy to do. We can do this. We can do describe it updates the counter on button click. Right, another pretty simple test. Just demonstrate what we can do. And let me bring this off to the side a little bit. So what we need to do is call component, and this time we want mount, which is going to allow us to invoke this method. So I can say component, and we want to mount our app. Let's make sure we're not getting any errors here. Cool. Now let's look at our component. Just inspect it. Cool. So we got our component. We got an increment function on it. Cool. So let's see what happens if we call component.increment. So it's not a function. You can't call it like that. So what you have to do, there's a few ways, but what we can do is we can say const button. We want to find the button. Find button. And now let's look at the button. Okay, so it's a button, and it's also got, if we look, button, let's see, where is it? Console.log, button.props. So it's got an onClick function, which calls increment. So what we can do is we can call it like that, or we can say button.simulate, click, right? And what's that going to do? Let's look at that. Now let's console.log component.state. Let's see what's happening now. So now it's 1, right? But, we could do this a bunch of times. Let's look at what we have. We have 5. So, right, we could expect component.state.counter to equal 5. Cool, so now it's 5. And if we were to take out one of these, we should get an error now because it's 4. So that's the way you can do it, and you can also, let me change this to 1. We can also do this. We can say button.props.onClick. We can trigger it like that. Now it's 1. So 2 different ways. The simulate one is actually preferred, just because you're not interacting with the props directly. You have that abstraction. But anyways, guys, that's it for very basic testing with Enzyme and Jest. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And oh, sorry, I don't know why I did that. It's not. It's it. I don't know why I had describe here this whole time. My bad, guys. Change that out to it. So we got our 3 tests passing. And hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, thanks for watching, and have a great day. Take care.